If there's one favourite beer style that Hernan and I both agree upon, it has to be
Tripel.
Belgian Tripel. We love Belgian Tripel. It's one of the first beers we ever tried to brew back in the extract days with the syrupy...
With a lot of, yeah, unnatural things in it.
Yes. It's one of the first things I tried to brew when I got this Blickman Brew Easy all-grain system as well. And we're going to have another go today. This one we're brewing is not super high alcohol, I think about 8%. So we got it from an article which I'll link to, which is described as a brew your best triple. We've taken that as the basis and we've made a few modifications. So let's give it a go. Ingredients for this, very simple malt bill. We're brewing 10 gallons. We went for 26.5 pounds of Pilsner floor malted Pilsner grain. Then on top of that, for the specialty malts, we just have a pound of aromatic malt and a pound of Victory malt. And we're gonna add some sugar in as well. Nothing fancy about the sugar, just table sugar. We've got 2 pounds 4 ounces of that going in. So about 10 minutes from the end of the mash, we have taken a mash reading. So to take the reading, I have to draw a sample and then put the hydrometer in. The trouble is the reading this gives you isn't actually correct because this is calibrated for 68 degrees. So you have to use a calculator. We use Brewer's Friend. So I just took the temperature of this, put that all into Brewer's Friend, and it's told me that the pre-boil gravity is currently 1050. And we're looking for 1059, so that implies the mash isn't finished yet. So we're going to leave it for a little bit longer, and then take another reading and see if we get a bit closer before we start the boil. So we took another gravity reading, same thing. We're at 1050. We adjusted the recipe based on the ingredients we're using, and we should be at 1057 for pre-boil. We're not going to worry too much about it yet. We're going to start the boil now, and then we'll take another gravity reading near the end of the boil, and if we are still a little bit under, we are going to put in a bit of dry malt extract just to get the ABV up, because we want a beer that is at least, what, 7.5%?
8?
8? Yeah, we want it strong, so we'll do that.
So we're gonna put 1.6 ounces of nugget pellets. We have 1 of these of crushed coriander, and it's going into the boil. So we have 20 more minutes to go on the boil, so sugar goes in. So we were going for 1 pound of DME, but I went a little more generous, 1.5, and we've been boiling for an hour now.
Yep.
So right before the last batch of hops, there we go.
So the reason we're adding that DME is we took another gravity reading right really near at the end of this boil. We're at 1064 and we want to get to 1070. So because of that, often would have just kind of left it as it was, but we really want this triple to be a nice strong triple. So we are kind of cheating and throwing in some DME at the end. So what we're going to do is we're going to leave that in there for 10 minutes. So we're extending the boil by 10 minutes, but we haven't added the final hop addition yet, which just goes in with 5 minutes to go. So we'll give it 5 more minutes to dissolve, then we'll go with the last 5-minute hop addition.
We're doing 1 ounce of Mount Hood hops, pellets. Smells good.
So this is the tilt hydrometer. I did a video on this as to how to use it. Basically, it measures the gravity of the beer and the temperature. So here is where we find out what our gravity is. We don't know what our gravity is because we dumped a load of DME in at the end, so we're about to find out. So, looks like our gravity is 1074. We were aiming for 1070. We were at 1064 before we added the DME, so it looks like the DME has given us about 10 points on the gravity, which is good because that should mean a slightly stronger beer at the end. And temperature is 81 degrees. It's a bit warm. Trouble is, the groundwater, this is summer, we're in July, and in North Carolina the groundwater is really warm, don't have any ice, so we have been running this through the plate chiller for a good 30 minutes now. I think the yeast should be fine though, handling 81 degrees. So we'll get these carboys filled up on this fermenter, pitch the yeast, and then we'll be done. Okay, this is the yeast starter we've made. It's just Belgian ale yeast from White Labs. This is a 2-litre starter. We put 2 yeast packets in here yesterday so that we would get the required amount of yeast cells. So hopefully we've got that. So we're going to split this between the 2 batches that we've got. Okay, done. We are sampling our Belgian Tripel. Some of us sampling more than others.
Oh, the other thing you tried was the gelatin, right, to clarify the beer?
Yes, right. So that's the other factor is one of the kegs had gelatin put into it and one of them had none. In the end, it hasn't appeared to make any difference, although we should say that the beer has been in the keg now in a cold environment for over 3 weeks. So it seems that gelatin generally speeds that process along, but the beer's kind of fallen clear anyway. So didn't need the gelatin in this case.
For sure it's a triple.
It smells like a triple. Cheers.
Cheers. I like triples.
I'm glad we put that extra sugar in as well to make sure we got to the right.
Just got it right, yeah.
Got to the right ABV.
It has all the characteristics of a triple.